Dr. Claunch, Pastor Kermit, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to present to you the ordination class of 1973. Now, we're going to give them all a round of applause, even better than that at the end, but let me introduce the ones that are able to be with us tonight. Pastor Cecil Adams. Brother Adams, if you are able to stand, he was saved in Roswell, New Mexico, and baptized in the Holy Spirit in 1964. Now, he has served our district, but I want you to know that he served in the United States Army from 1967 to 68. He is the recipient of a combat medical badge, a Purple Heart, and a Bronze Star during the Vietnam War. Thank you. He married Rebecca Wakefield on October the 4th, 1969. He was ordained on October 4th, 1973 in the Oklahoma district. We'll forgive him for that. They have 3 children, 15 grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren. Their first ministry was a coffee house for hippies started in June of 1970. They began their first pastorate in Assembly of God in Kiefton, Oklahoma, followed by Christian Chapel in Tulsa, Oklahoma, River of Life in Hayesville, Kansas, and he is currently the pastor of First Assembly of God in Killeen, Texas since September 1994. He has preached in the Philippines, Russia, Nicaragua, Belize, Israel, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, India, South Korea, Papua New Guinea, South Africa, and Lesotho. He's been running after God and telling other people about Jesus for a long time. Thank you so much. Next, we have Reverend James D. Shepard. Brother Shepard felt the call of God to ministry as a teenager. He graduated from Southwestern in 1971, and during his 42 years of pastoral ministry, he has pastored 4 churches: Hopewell Assembly of God in Ennis, Texas, Eustis Assembly of God in Eustis, Texas, First Assembly of God in Marshall, Texas, and Liberty City Assembly of God in Liberty City, Texas. He retired in 2015 after over 20 years at Liberty City. He has served in an interim pastorate in a number of churches. He continues to do fill-in and supply ministry. His wife, Pat, who served alongside him, went to be with the Lord in 2009. They have 4 children, 2 sons-in-laws, 2 daughter-in-laws, and 13 grandchildren. Thank you, Brother Shepard, for your years of service. Next is Don Tedford. Don Tedford, 7 years old. He attended the very first service at Brownsboro First Assembly of God, 1952. It was pastored by A.C. Rasco. The church became the center of their lives. He dedicated his life to Jesus in 1957 due to a praying mother who discipled and disciplined me. I remained in church and later entered the ministry from the North Texas District Council in 1967, his first credential. And my pastor and fellow minister is my wife, Peggy, who is my inspiration, encourager, and counselor, and by my side for 53 years. They served churches in Eustis, Mahia, and Hawkins. With God's leading, we were able to relocate and rebuild in Mahia and Hawkins. We pastored over 20 years in the Arkansas district, where he retired in 2012. He now resides in Chandler, Texas, and remains very active in the church ministry there. Congratulations, Don Tedford. Next, we got Reverend Harry Thrasher. Harry Gene Thrasher was called into the ministry after a horrific car accident in 1967 while living in California. And he was encouraged by his pastor, Tommy Beard, to enroll in classes at Southwestern. While there, he met his wife, Carol, of 53 years. They knew it was God's will for the 2 of them to be married when they discovered that their car keys fit one another's cars. Quite an interesting sign. His first job was youth pastor at First Assembly of God in Levelland, Texas, where he was ordained in 1973 in the West Texas district. And he served as senior pastor of First Assembly of God in Caldwell for 13 years, served as presbyter of the former Bryan section. In 1991, Harold and Carol, along with their two sons, John and Matthew, moved to Belton, where they served as senior pastors there for 20 years. He has served on the Waco Sectional Committee for the past 30 years. He is now the senior adult ministry pastors at Crossroads Church in Belton, where their son Matthew and his wife Holly Thrasher are now the senior pastors. Congratulations. And Harry's the only guy I know that at a North Texas Ministers golf tournament that made a hole-in-one and won $10,000. I don't know how that fits in, but he did. Brother Arnold Walker received his first credentials in 1967 as a certified minister while attending Southwestern. After graduating with a Bachelor of Science, he became youth pastor at First Assembly of God in Marshall, Texas. And then a year later, his pastoral ministry started in Arkansas and Texas. He pastored in Earl, Arkansas, where he was ordained in 1973. From there, he moved to Quitman, Texas, where God blessed the church. They were able to move the church to a new and better location. Then in Buffalo, Texas, under his guidance, the church finished a new church building as well. While pastoring in Cameron, Texas, he led that church in building a new 4-bedroom parsonage. And at Calvary Temple Assembly of God in Athens, Texas, the church was able to make many improvements to their facility. Everywhere he pastored, the churches improved and had many lives changed for the Lord. He has served on the sectional committee in the Bryan section, now Brazos Valley, the Trinity Valley section, and he has retired, but he continues to fill in as God opens the doors. Congratulations, Brother Walker, on 50 years of ordained ministry. You're going to see the photos of a few that are not able to be here tonight. A couple are ill, but our first one, Don Exley, Don isn't able to be here because he's preaching in Mexico. Don Exley graduated as valedictorian from Southwestern. He got his Master of Arts degree at AGTS in Cross-Cultural Communications. And Don and Melba became a part of Assembly of God World Missions in 1974. They arrived in Argentina, where their 3-year-old daughter, Alicia, and a future presbyter of the North Texas District, Jason, was born in Buenos Aires there to them. And they were involved in lots of church planting in Argentina. They planted a church in Mexico City along the way. And for 21 years, Don served as the area director of the Southern Cone of South America. And we congratulate him on 50 years of ordained ministry. Bracy Hill, they pastored in North Texas and South Texas, Indiana, Oklahoma, and Missouri. 7 churches in all. He received his BA from Southwestern, got his MDiv and Doctor of Ministry from Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary. Part of his doctoral ministry degree included a marriage enrichment program that ended up being permitted and promoted by the Church of God in Cleveland, Tennessee. He did many marriage enrichment seminaries through the years. He has taught at Jimmy Swaggart Bible College, Central Bible College, Southern Cross Bible College, and SUM College as an adjunct professor. Wayne Long, another one of our ministers that is being recognized for 50 years. He and his wife pioneered and pastored the Lancaster Road Assembly of God. And I just want to do a shout out through Wayne of all the bivocational pastors that are in this house tonight, because he has been a bivocational pastor for many, many years. While he was pastoring Lancaster Road Assembly of God, he worked for Dallas Power and Light. And a former district superintendent of North Texas, Durwood Dubose, held his very first revival for Wayne Long in Lancaster. And finally, tonight, we recognize Bob Wallace. Bob served as a senior pastor for Calvary Assembly of God in Tyler for around 20-plus years. He and his wife, Jenna, were married for 69 years before her passing in 2020. He retired in 2020. They have 2 daughters, 3 grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren. Would you again just help us say thank you to those men and their spouses that have served so faithfully and have served so well?